Hi, I'm Aaliyah Andrews. Welcome to the last day of week 2. The power of great defense is unlimited.
What a grab in left field! Diving Sisbates, third base, got her! Rhodes over, she lays out and makes the catch. Mcclenny at the wall! Diving and making the grab, it's Bubba Nichols again! Piper, foul territory, lays out. And Rhodes coming on again!
Oh yeah, lay it out, baby!
Oh my goodness! Well, of all the outstanding defense we saw yesterday, nothing could top Aaliyah Andrews. What an incredible catch. Well, it's the final day of week 2, and it's kicked off by Team Harshman and Team Mulipola. One team hasn't won this weekend, the other team hasn't lost this weekend. Will something break or not? They're all chasing Carrie Eberly at the top of the Geico leaderboard. Deja Mulipola, she has made quite the little comeback over the last couple days, just 10 behind Eberly. Danielle O'Toole, Sis Bates, Aaliyah Andrews ready to go, dancing in the rain here in Rosemont. Everybody trying to end up one of those top 4 point leaders so they can be a part of the draft tomorrow as a captain. They got to use that innovative scoring system. They got to win. And today is the last day of week 2 that you can do that. Alongside the 2-time Olympian Danielle Laurie, I'm Chucky Kempf. The rain may be playing a factor today in this final day.
Well, it's been a whirlwind of events as far as weather. I mean, it almost felt 110 degrees for the athletes on the field with the turf yesterday, and today we're dealing with a little bit of rain. So look for the pitchers to probably be throwing the ball back quite a bit to just make sure they're in safe hands with a dry ball.
Pitchers got a lot of help yesterday with defense, and wow, Aaliyah Andrews.
I mean, the defense for me, what a treat it has been over the last 48 hours to be able to get to witness. I mean, maybe I'm biased, but I think this should have been the #1 play on SportsCenter Top 10. Aaliyah Andrews, you are so good. But as far as home run leader, you got to look at Amanda Chitister and just her ability to be able to step into the batter's box and potentially change the dynamic of a game based on one swing. And she's someone that I could potentially see making a run to try to beat a pitcher out for winning this championship season. And this is how these women earn points. It is a point system across the board. There are 3 ways to earn it, and it's those win points up top, the individual stat points, which is based on hitting and pitching, and then MVP voting is done by these athletes at the end of the game. 60, 40, and 20 are rewarded for MVP 1, 2, and 3. It's always fun to see what MVP votes are.
We'll check in with the 3rd member of our team, Key Michael, as the day goes on. She is hiding somewhere, trying to stay out of the rain. I'm just kidding. She's out there in the elements right now. Gave us the thumbs up as we get set. And it's Odyssey Alexander, the superstar out of James Madison in her 2nd season. Been a little bit of a rough week so far for Odyssey, but she can really bring it.
She really can. And in this league, you have to have a short-term memory in the circle because there's times you're going to give up the big hit and there's times when you're going to thrive. And Odyssey Alexander can throw a heavy ball. She mixes speeds really well. Her changeup is by far the best pitch. When she's on with that, she is money.
Behind Odyssey Alexander is a very talented defense, and I think, man, some good outfielders. Haley Mcclenny has been tremendous in center field so far. We saw her climbing the wall in our open. She's got Piankistelli and Stokes O'Connor to the sides of her. Nadia Taylor gets the start at 3rd base. Sis Bates at shortstop. Leach made a really nice play at 2nd yesterday, and then it's Chitister and the captain, Deja Mulipola, behind the plate. There's Haley Mcclenny. Man, she has been a superstar. She swung it great yesterday, reached 5 times in 5 tries at the plate, but the defense, the attitude that just seems infectious for her teammates as well.
Yeah, she is a fierce competitor. She's consistent. She's a leader. And she is someone that just continues to get better the older she is. And this is Team Harshman's starting lineup. Good mix of lefties, majority righties. But when I look at Aaliyah Andrews, she's kind of the star from yesterday with that big-time play that she was able to make. And I like how Kelsey Harshman gives herself the nod in the leadoff spot, being the captain.
A lot of confidence in herself. Love to see it. They need one today, Danielle. There's no secret. It was a rough day 1 on Friday for them of week 2, and they lost in somewhat heartbreaking fashion, but didn't get a single win point. Yesterday was better. They picked some up, but they blew an 8-1 lead. They went to the bottom of the 6th inning with an 8-1 lead and blew that lead to Team Jaquish, allowing 4 runs in the 6th and 4 runs in the 7th. And now the captain doesn't want her week to be a complete loss. She wants to get her team a win right now and get them started on the right foot. Outside from Alexander. A 2-0 count to Kelsey Harshman. Odyssey Alexander, you talk about confidence. She exudes confidence as well. Second season from Boynton, Virginia, the James Madison star. Won 81 games in the circle and hit .337 for her career there, where she was a 3-time All-American and a 2-time Conference Player of the Year. Just outside ball 3.
And this is what the pitchers really need to dial in on today. If they have any sort of dampness on their hands, they have to be able to have that towel. You see Odyssey Alexander has it in her back, but you want to make sure your hand is dry when you're able to snap that pitch off.
That one runs a little too far inside.
Well, before the game, we saw some of the pitchers gathering. You have Sydney Littlejohn Watkins, you have Odyssey Alexander, and the facilitator, Jen Salling, attempting a pitch, but that's just not how you do it, Jen. But I think they were just trying to kind of figure out, hey, is there anything else we need? And you have to remember, on this surface, you are not wearing metal spikes. So you're going to have your regular molded spikes or turf. So you have to make sure as a pitcher, because your grip and your front leg when you land is so important with being able to create power through your backside. So you have to have a good landing spot.
First pitch strike to Megan Wiggins. Tell me what you're worried about most if you're a pitcher in the circle today. Is it your grip or is it the field itself being a little bit slick?
Honestly, it would most likely be the rosin that has to sit on the ground.
Really?
Because I wouldn't want the rosin to not be able to kind of get my hand what I need it to be. But I think most importantly, that just the front of the mound, that land foot, is it slick? And I have not seen any evidence of the mound not being what it needs to be, because these women wouldn't be playing if the surface wasn't tip-top shape. But it's definitely something that the pitchers, you know, we're in our own little world out there. So sometimes we act like divas, and I'm here for it because the attention's on the pitcher actually quite a bit. So
Pitchers, divas, no. Come on.
I mean, Queens, I'm down with that.
Wiggins, slow grounder. Chitister takes care of it. That was one of the smoothest slides I've ever seen by Kelsey Harshman. She started that slide about 10 feet short of the base. That was outstanding.
Well, and you know that. They've practiced on this surface. Majority of these women, this is the third year that they're getting the opportunity to compete. They know what it's like when the surface is a little bit wet. And that is a factor when you think about it, Chucky's. When you slide, you have to be mindful of not sliding past the bag, because it can be a little bit slick. And this is just an example. Kelsey Harshman sliding in.
Look at that.
I mean, as smooth as a cat.
I think Sis Bates was talking to her about it too. That was great. Sydney Romero's first chance against Odyssey Alexander. That runs too far inside, ball 1.
And you can see a little frustration on Odyssey Alexander's face. Just wanting that pitch, wanting the inner part. They have expanded the zone a little bit for Athletes Unlimited this season.
1-0 down low, ball 2.
And this is this 0-0 pitch on the inner part. I mean, okay, maybe a little bit too in, but they have expanded the zone, and us pitchers in the circle tend to maybe want a little bit bigger. I know you
certainly on a rainy day.
At me.
I'll give you credit. On a rainy day, I think especially you want a little help here. That one's too far upstairs, 3-0.
And this is where your mental game has to kick in. This is where all of these factors are out of your control. The weather, the umpire. So whatever you need to do to be able to dial it in, get yourself in a good headspace, focus on throwing strikes. Because it can be easy to get frustrated. I've been there, I've done that. I'm at times not proud of my reaction when the weather is not what I want it to be, but it's the same circumstances for the other pitcher as well, and that's something to always kind of remember.
Off speed, great spot there from Alexander. How often did you deal with it in college at Washington? Was that frequent for you?
Yeah, we had to actually, Seattle had to deal with a decent amount of rain, but I was very big on being that annoying pitcher, throwing the ball back, maybe almost every other pitch, just because if there is any wet on your hand, you just can't get the same snap through.
Romero got all of it but foul.
And, I mean, these women out here get it. They know that the circumstances aren't what it has normally been, so they're okay with you constantly calling time to get what you need. They have, 80-plus balls prepared to be able to continuously throw into the dugout, get toweled off, pass back in.
They've got more balls ready today to rotate them faster for these pitchers. Romero was ahead 3-0 in the count. Now it's full. She just fouled off the last pitch. This one popped up into right field. Piankistelli's over, calls off Mcclenny, and they'll hold Wiggins at second base. There's 2 away. That makes way for Taylor Edwards, and it was a big day for her yesterday, but it was all for naught after they lost.
This was a special moment. I'm just always such a big fan of Taylor Edwards, and this was a huge moment for her team. This was a 3-run shot. Not only the 40 points, but just rounding the bases to your teammates. Everyone's so happy. Taylor Edwards is one of the most selfless young ladies that I've ever gotten to be around. I remember when the Olympics was postponed in 2020 and I took some time off, and Athletes Unlimited, that inaugural season, Taylor Edwards offered to start catching for me every weekend that I came, and every Monday she would come in early and catch for me, and we would get to kind of chat. And I truly believe that Athletes Unlimited kind of ignited that flame, and Taylor Edwards for me to know, like, okay, hey, we can do this for one more year.
Yeah.
It was cool to be able to see these athletes. A lot of these women competed in the Olympic Games, and we're going through the same emotions in 2020 as I was, having to do it for an additional year. So seeing them compete and kind of get back into pitching was a big moment for me, and thankful for Taylor Edwards.
So you were throwing when you were here then?
Yeah, I would throw twice. I would throw twice every weekend that I flew in.
That's great.
Yeah, Sundays and Mondays, and that's when it was very strict, so I'd always have to do a DoorDash or Uber Eats of coffee, and that would be how I'd pay her. I'm like, all right, I'm going to bring you an Uber Eats Starbucks coffee. What do you want?
Down the left side, just foul. She's fighting right now. Odyssey Alexander maybe starting to settle in a little bit more with that grip right now. Taylor Edwards' sister Tatum is a facilitator this season. She's with Team Eberly this week. Swing and a miss. Advantage Alexander. Nothing doing for Team Harshman in the top of the first after the leadoff walk from the captain herself. A little theme day here at Athletes Unlimited. Power in my voice. This league always pushing these players to fight for what they believe in. We are back, a rainy day here in Rosemont, Illinois. 0-0, 10 points on the line as Team Mulipola comes to the plate for the first time, and they will face off with the Florida State product in her first season, Danielle Watson.
And this is a good opportunity for Danielle Watson. Closed it out last night, had struggled just a little bit now, had 24 hours to get her mind right. Likes to work up in the zone, has that screwball, rise ball combo, and I know the mentality coming into this after talking with team captain Kelsey Harshman was to give Danielle Watson 6 to 9 good quality outs. That's what her goal is for her today.
We'll see if she can get the job done. And here is the lineup she will have to do it on. You said this from the beginning. This was a lineup you were looking forward to seeing, and it has not disappointed. They have not lost a game yet, and Haley Mclenny yesterday was on fire.
Well, we've seen her just hit the ball to all fields, and I love just she's able to get open on a pitch on the inner half so quickly. This gets out of here in a heartbeat, 72 miles per hour exit velocity, 245 feet, and You have to love when your leadoff hitter is a triple threat like Haley Mcclinney that seeds the ball so well, can go yard, can drop that bunt at any minute if you're playing her back on the corners.
Didn't get to finish our last question. Of course, we get Haley mic'd up yesterday in an inning. We're talking to her, and it's the fastest 1-2-3 inning of the game. And we had just asked her how special it was being in Birmingham, Alabama, close to where she grew up, in her home state where she played college softball and win gold at the World Games with Team USA, beating Japan. And she started and she said, you know, it's hard to put into words, but you have to think that was a truly special moment for her, and of course played well like she always does.
Well, and she made the comment that she had grown up, I think, 15 to 20 minutes from there. There's nothing like that. When you get the opportunity to compete in front of 15 to 20,000 fans, and they just happen to be your home crowd fans, that was a big deal for USA to be able to beat Japan in the World Games.
Haley Mcclenny has had a tremendous weekend. These are your biggest movers of the weekend based on the games yesterday. Danielle O'Toole up 25 spots. Haley Mcclenny behind her with 16 points, or 16 spots on the leaderboard moved up. She actually leads the weekend with 416 points earned. Amanda Chitister close behind her, both on the same team. And Chitister has moved up 390 points. There's a reason this team hasn't lost yet. It's good pitching, but it's also two of your top three hitters are the biggest movers of the weekend.
When I saw the draft and I saw that Mulipola was getting Haley Mcclenny, Amanda Chitister, Piankistelli, the pitchers that they were able to get, I really thought this is a team that's going to go undefeated this weekend.
Wiggins drops that in foul territory and gives Mcclenny another chance. So it's an error on Megan Wiggins.
We all know that's a catch that Megan Wiggins usually makes. A lot of action going on as far as weather, and there's some rain, but she would tell you straight up, I got to make that catch.
So here's Mcclenny with a 2-2 count and new life. Watson upstairs, 3-2. Mcclenny in her third season. She's been a part of Team USA since 2013. Down the right side, it is a fair ball. Mcclenny rounds first, and she has a double. And she about slid past second base right there.
Second baseman, number 75, Aubry Leach.
She just turns on this right by Tori Vidalis. And that's one thing that these athletes just have to be mindful of. That slide, you want to make sure that you get a fingertip on the bag and hold on for dear life so you're not sliding past it. But it all kind of goes back to the miscatch by Megan Wiggins. And it's just those little things, not intentional. It's an error. It's not like she missed it on purpose. But if you catch that, you don't get the lead off in Haley Mcclenny.
There's a conversation right now. Mcclenny jumped up to third place on our Geico leaderboard with that. And this might be a decision trying to challenge this. They will. They will challenge this ruling if this ball was fair or foul down the right field line. And I think Tori Vidalis kind of headed that because she was the closest one to it over at first base. This is showing you how much every inning matters right here.
It's kind of bringing me back to
this
deja
one,
vu of a couple of days ago with Team Harshman. And
this one's a little different because it bounces, obviously, so that throws another wrinkle in. and it lands in foul territory, but it bounces. So did it go over the bag and then land in foul territory? Rachel Palmer's taking a look at this, our replay official here on site. I think this is going to be really hard to overturn.
Yeah.
It lands so close to the line in foul territory, it makes me think it probably went over the bag.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with you. And there has to be enough evidence to overturn the call.
I'll be curious how they rule this.
On the bounding ball, we are going to uphold the call of a fair ball.
I think that's a good decision. One, there's not enough there, but if you looked at where the ball landed in foul territory, it is just so close, you know it's moving right, that it probably did go over the bag, but you definitely didn't have enough. That's a good call. That's Mcclenny's 4th extra base hit of the weekend. Kelsey Harshman might be saying, already got hosed on one of those. I had to try it. This
Third time's a charm,
well, this
maybe.
one's a little less, not that it's not important, but it's the magnitude of the decision is not nearly as much as it was on night number 1 when it was worth 50 points. And then Harshman ends up going on to not get any win points for that game. Now it's Aubry Leach into left field. Wiggins trying to make amends, but she did come in and goes back and makes the grab. You have to wonder how much of a factor the rain is. There is a breeze as well.
Chitister.
Wiggins, Andrews, Busby along the outfield for Team Harshman. Gano gets the start at third base. Everything else the same on the infield. Romero and Harshman up the middle. Vidalis at first base and Taylor Edwards behind the dish. Here's Amanda Chitister. You have arguably the 2 hottest bats in the league here in week 2. One of them at second base and one of them at the plate. From Allen Park, Michigan, and a former Wolverine. Upstairs, 1-1. Danielle Watson threw yesterday in a tough spot as we look at our Geico leaderboard. Mulipola potentially could be in first place when this game ends to put the pressure on Carrie Eberly, and who knows who else could move up that board. Danielle Watson yesterday throwing, tough spot for her late in the game. She did get to do it in front of her former college coach, Lonnie Alameda, who was here, and a pitching coach for Team Canada.
I always kind of love day 3 the most because there's a lot on the line. There's some scooting, some people are moving up, some are going down, and you know that people are fighting to be those captains, to be able to make the decisions. The top 4 after the weekend do the Athletes Unlimited draft on Monday, draft their own team, and then they practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 2-hour time slots. And
that's ripped. Chitister going to bring Mclenny around, and so the air does cost Team Harshman here in the first inning. For Danielle Watson, it is not an earned run, so she does not lose the 10 points, but the team does because Team Mulipola takes the first inning points.
this ball is supposed to be on the outer part of the plate, just drifts a little bit too much over the heart, and Amanda Chitister swinging a hot bat right now, right up the middle. It's the ABCs of the game: run around second base, hit the ball up the middle, and score her and earn your team 10 points.
Deja Mulipola trying to keep it going for her team. Still just one out. This is inside where the first pitch was. She goes after it. Tough spot. Romero calls off Gano and makes the catch for out number 2.
Team Mulipola able to pick up the available.
Nice bounce back there for Danielle Watson.
Number 34, Erica Piankistelli.
Erica Piankistelli in the 5-hole. Kind of been waiting for Piankistelli to really get into one here in week 2. Homered once in week 1. She is a very exciting player, especially at the plate. A great story, great advocate for the game, especially internationally. Played for Team Italy.
And she's a player that I'm just waiting to go off.
Yep.
Like, she's someone that could all of a sudden get it rolling. And something I really love about Piankistelli, she's such a manifester. She always talks about manifestation. And last weekend she talked about she was dreaming of line drives. And it's exactly what happened in the game. She had 3 line drives, I think, to left, center, and right field. And just one of those athletes that a lot of pop. Love her big leg kick. I like that location. Maybe she's not feeling the strike zone, but hey, the strike zone has changed. They're getting a little bit lower in the zone, a little bit higher, as well as getting that river.
Piankistelli just finds a nice spot in right field. Busby comes on, and they're able to hold Chitister at second base.
And that's like a prime example. That's not a bad pitch thrown by Danielle Watson. That's a good spot. Piankistelli can hit a ball off the plate, and it's proven in that last at-bat.
She's one of 18 Olympians here at Athletes Unlimited. You're talking Team USA, Team Canada, Team Italy, Team Mexico. There are 6 former Athletes Unlimited players who also competed. 1 broadcaster up here in the booth that's a member of a bronze medal winning team. Where is your medal? I was thinking, like, man, you got to bring it so I can see it. You're not traveling with that, are you?
Yeah, no
chance.
But the first time I've really brought it out in months is my daughter had a sleepover on Monday with some of her little soccer friends,
That's
and they all
awesome.
wanted to see it. And that was the first time probably in 6 months. It sits on my husband's dresser. Proud husband.
Yeah. It's just a reminder, hey, buddy, you're lucky.
Yeah. You know who's the real boss here.
Yeah, that's right. He Stokes O'Connor at the plate with a 1-1 count. She's had a big week herself as far as moving up the leaderboard. This is how important it is to be on winning teams. She's been decent at the plate, but she's been here with Team Mulipola just collecting those win points, has moved all the way up into that 14th spot. And she was on Team Everly in week 1, where she got the most win points of that week at 240. And that's what you're going to see as the season goes on. You will find some players that she hasn't had a bad season, but she's not swung it as good as she would probably like. But as this weeks go on, week 3, week 4, and week 5, you're going to look and say, somebody's going to come to the plate, it's going to say they're in 9th place and they're hitting 215, and you're thinking, well, how did they get there? They've been on the right team so far. She pops out to third base. But Team Mulipola makes Team Harshman pay for the error. Mclenny doubles and ends up coming around to score with Amanda Chitister bringing her in, and that's 10 points. 1-0 Team Mulipola leading Team Harshman after 1 inning. They've already collected 10 win points for the day, so a good start for them. And a good start to the week for you if you're an Athletes Unlimited fan. The Week 3 draft for softball is tomorrow at 5 Eastern. You can visit auprosports.com for more information. And then Week 4, the championship weekend for lacrosse. Coverage will continue Thursday on ESPN2 and ESPNU. Danielle and myself are back next weekend here, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, for Week 3 of Athletes Unlimited softball. We will reach the halfway point next weekend, and that's always, I think, a big week for these athletes to really figure out what this leaderboard might look like at the end, who has a legitimate chance going down the stretch. I think right now you can say everyone is still in it. As we look at the Geico leaderboard, Deja Mulipola tied for first with Carrie Everly. She's on the right track right now to potentially be in that top spot. Chitister and Mcclenny are right up there with her. And it'll be interesting if you do end up seeing, and if they have a big day, if you can see them get probably 70, 80 points clear of the 4th spot, which I think you could, you might end up having 3 players off the same team here be the 3 of the 4 captains. Sis Bates might have lost the handle. It's a nice scoop up by Chitister, though.
So that play by Sis Bates was intentional.
Oh, was it?
You get a lot more giddy up on your throw when you're able to use the ground. So see how she throws it to give Chitty a good hop.
Love it.
And you're testing your first baseman a little bit and saying, hey, you got to be able to pick this. And Chitty is great at first base, but Sis Bates, her range, outstanding. I mean, 10 out of 10. At times, her arm strength, I would probably give maybe a 7 out of 10 in comparison to some other, Anissa Ortez. But Sis Bates' softball IQ with being able to get in the hole to make a play, but to be able to bounce it to get more carry on the ball, to get it where it needs to go. She's so good at her softball awareness of what she needs to do to get the ball to first to beat the runner.
And that is definitely, I mean, if we have the rain on dirt, it's not going to be like that, obviously. So that's using the turf, right?
Yes. Yep. We saw her do it a little bit at AUX.
Yeah.
But the sky's the limit when you get to play with turf. Gives you good, solid bounce for the most part.
And that first out also moved Odyssey Alexander into the top 10 on the leaderboard. See Odyssey, the number 22 on her jersey, which is actually Sis Bates' number. She reached out to Sis in the offseason and asked if she could wear number 22 in honor of her friend that she lost over the last year that played at James Madison, that she was very close with, Lauren Burnett. She's also wearing Burnett on the back of her jersey to honor her friend, and that is just, talk about power in my voice is the theme today from Athletes Unlimited, and for these players and the fans in the stands, that is the perfect example of that right there.
Well, this is a platform to do just that, and I love how Odyssey reached out to Sis, and Athletes Unlimited allows for you to do those types of things, to be able to wear a completely different jersey if that's what you want to do. And that's why I think this league is so special in the sense where these women get to make the decisions on what they want, and they're united in how they go about things.
There you see it there, Burnett, and the 22 on the back of her jersey that's fouled back by Busby. Odyssey Alexander, she is so much fun to watch out there too. It's the power of the Women's College World Series and ESPN softball coverage of what it can do. I mean, Odyssey Alexander became an instant superstar when she left her feet to make that play at the Women's College World Series. It is that quick.
She became a superstar the day they beat OU Game 1 on Thursday. And she became a superstar her whole post-series run. Oklahoma City allowed her to elevate, but her performance in the regionals and her performance in the super regionals when she was the only pitcher to go inning after inning after inning and literally put her team on her back. The game has changed where a lot of teams have 3 to 4 pitchers on staff. She kind of had that old school flavor.
Mclenny coming in, and Odyssey Alexander with a 1-2-3 inning. And maybe she's settling in, comfortable in the rain with just 8 pitches in the second. One nothing going to the bottom of the second. Team Mulipola trying to collect more inning win points. They had 3 hits in the first inning after the error by Megan Wiggins. Now the Unlimited Club provides great benefits, including voting on league decisions, interaction with players, signed items, and more. For more information or to join today, go to auprosports.com. There are some dedicated fans in the stands today. It is a light drizzle at the moment. I will say it's, for the players, temperature-wise, probably more comfortable today. The rain is not ideal. So we see Sam Fisher leading off the inning from Simi Valley, California to Loyola Marymount.
I think yesterday was probably the hottest that these women have played on this surface. Here in Athletes Unlimited, some of the women that competed in the World Games in Birmingham, they say it was hotter. But usually the Athletes Unlimited season starts the end of August and kind of rolls into September.
Gano flicks it over, and they've got one out quickly. And I'm thinking San Diego with AUX, these women were having to play a doubleheader every series, just one, but still, they would have had to do that yesterday in this heat. San Diego, you're talking low to mid 80s. There's a nice breeze coming in from the coast, a little bit different, but a doubleheader here would be very challenging.
Hey, I like that duck by our cameraman and left.
Heads up. Probably saw that one coming in the lens. Nadia Taylor down in the count 0-1. Danielle Watson gave up the one unearned run in the first inning. Camera guy down the left field line, Julio, above the first base dugout. Nadia into right center field. This is going to get down and one hop the wall. Rounds first, headed for second. It's a stand-up double for Nadia Taylor.
Number 96, Sis.
Really good at bat by Nadia Taylor. Takes this pitch low and away. Absolute laser to the warning track. Double all day. That has to feel good if you're Nadia Taylor. The amount of work this young lady puts in the off season. She's coaching, she's getting up to do her training early morning to get everything done. You like to see her start to get rolling.
I get the feeling that I wouldn't like working out with Nadia Taylor.
I would love
Not that I don't like being around her. She's an outstanding person, but more that I would be done in about 5 minutes, if that.
I feel like it would be fun because I feel like she'd make me laugh. Because she's just
Absolutely.
like so, she works hard.
You could probably handle it. The problem is we would be laughing at me if I was with her.
I'm not going to disagree.
Great piece of hitting by Sis Bates, moves Taylor to third. Sis has 10 points for the single on first.
The center fielder, number 28, Mclenny.
I love watching these slappers hit. I mean, the bat control, Sis Bates, Victoria Hayward, Morgan Circle, the list goes on.
I feel like the college game doesn't have as many slappers anymore. So when you see it and you see those true slappers and Sis Bates, Aubry Leach, Kiki Stokes O'Connor, Aaliyah Andrews, like it kind of brings you back to the old school days of Caitlin Lowe and Autumn Champion in Arizona. That was just a huge part of our game, and the power, I think, has rose so much where it's like, oh, would I rather hit a home run or hit it 10 feet in the infield? So we've just seen the shift maybe a little bit more, but you still have some hitters like Sis Bates that are just able to slap it right up the middle.
Outside corner, strike one from Watson. Just one away here for Haley Mcclenny. There's some action right now. The Team Harshman bullpen. Sale and Mcquillen up and working right now.
And I think today will be an all hands on deck situation.
Rachel Garcia is inactive for today's game, so they really challenged her yesterday. Kelsey Harshman was telling us, she said she would give it all we've got. Garcia did just that. She was a warrior yesterday for Kelsey Harshman. 2-1 to Mcclenny, swing and a miss. Good spot there from Watson.
And the more Danielle Watson gets comfortable, the more she's going to understand that Athletes Unlimited and professional play is just a little different than college. You have to be more efficient with location. At times your good pitches are going to get hit, but it doesn't mean shy away from it. You have to be a little bit selfish as a pitcher, especially as a rookie, because you're coming into some that have already been there for quite a while, but it's being able to express to a catcher behind the plate, hey, this is what I need. If you see this from me, you got to help me. You got to bring me out of it. Let's talk in between innings of what I'm comfortable with, what I want to attack a hitter on second time.
Ball four, Watson loses Mcclenny and loads the bases for Aubry Leach. Haley Mcclenny has reached base 7 straight times. A few walks, a home run, a double, a single. She's just a triple away from the cycle in the last 2 days. She tried to get there yesterday, but she is impossible to get out right now. Aubry Leach watches strike one on the outside corner.
Defense has to be on their toes. They're pulled in quite a bit, try to get that lead out at home, knowing the importance of every inning counts. And if Team Mulipola is able to score a run here, that's going to be them winning the inning and 10 points to everyone on Team Mulipola.
Potentially more than one run coming across on a base hit with Sis Bates on first or on second, and Mclenny on first. Certainly something in the gap. Most likely clears these bases. It gives them a cushion on the scoreboard. Outside. Aubry Leach, just a great story. Took last year off, started law school at Tennessee. She's a GA for Karen Weekly, the Tennessee softball program. She said she ideally would go into contract law, which could possibly keep her in the women's sports space. And who knows it better than somebody who's played at the professional ranks? I'll tell you what, she's got the stare to inject fear into anybody she's dealing with as an attorney. 3-2 count. Still just one away here in the second inning. First of a doubleheader. Team Epperly and Team Jaquish will be coming up next as Leach takes first and Taylor comes across. And now trouble coming to the plate. Amanda Chitister, and this was yesterday.
Love it. Head-on contact, super quick hands. Gets out of here real quick, 72 miles an hour, exit velocity.
Already drove in one run in the first inning, and now has a chance for a lot more. Pops it straight back. Did our cameraman on top of the box make a play? I can't tell.
Yeah, I heard the ball hit.
Heard a thud, yeah. Well, it was the ball or he was diving.
I think he didn't make the play.
Chitister could jump Mcclenny here with a big swing. She's down 0-2.
And for Danielle Watson, that's a quick 0-2 to one of the best hitters in this league. And then this is where you want to be smart. This is where you want to use your rise ball to your advantage, kind of throw something up out of the zone and try to get Amanda Chitister to get herself out. Sees the ball well. Tough task at hand, but hitters tend to get themselves out more than people think. Great pitch. Everything is about just executing location and getting in a hitter's head. And so being able to kind of go up in the zone, kind of gets Amanda Chitister thinking a little bit. Now where is she going to go? Is she going to come back up? Is she going to go away? Try to toy with the hitter a little bit.
Goes away. Chitister reaches out. Gano has nowhere to go. And Sis Bates comes across. They've already secured 10 more inning win points here in the second. And now they're trying to really put Team Harshman in a tough spot. It's an RBI single for Chitister.
Well, there's just nothing you can do. Courtney Gano is playing way behind the bag, obviously respecting the power of Amanda Chitister. You do not want to put yourself in front of the bag with how hot she can hit it. So it's one of those you have to just tip your cap, the old swinging bunt.
Now Mulipola. Watson misses just outside. Deja hitting 500 for the season, almost 700 points. She is in that top spot, tied right now with Carrie Eberly. And really, she's on her own. It hasn't gone in yet, but the 10-inning win points will put her in first place alone. It will also move Mcclenny and Chitister up that leaderboard a little bit. They won't surpass anybody, but they will put a bigger gap between themselves and Savannah Jaquist and Bubba Nichols, who's on that team. Mulipola swung really hard right there.
Out of anyone, any of these women in this league, one of my old teammates who's a facilitator, Jen Salling, said she has not seen anybody swing with more power than Deja Mulipola. So that's saying something.
Yeah, coming from Jen Salling, she's seen some decent players. She was one herself, to say the least. There she is, enjoying her time here, being around these athletes, kind of seeing how the Athletes Unlimited scene works.
She always plays way back when you have Chitty and Mulipola up.
Oh, down the line, it hits first base. Mulipola gonna bring a pair around for Team Mulipola. A 2 RBI single. And there's no chance, hit the base down the right field line.
And I think it's time to potentially make a pitching change here. It's a good piece of hitting. It's a ball, half a ball off the plate. She takes it down the right field line. Just so happens to hit the base, so it's a fair ball.
That's gonna do it for Danielle Watson. She hands it off to Taylor Mcquillen. There's the Geico leaderboard. We asked a lot of the players who they thought was gonna win before the season. Here's what they had to say.
Who do I think is going to win this entire season?
Whoever gets the most points. Me. Well, I would want it to be me. So, me. I don't like to talk too much, but, you know, I'm coming for number one.
I hope who wins it is not a pitcher.
I think it will be another pitcher. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
I would love to say a hitter that's going to win is going to win at some point.
Come on, a position player. We can do it.
We can do it. It's going to be an interesting season. I'm excited to see who takes home the gold.
We will see, and Deja Mulipola could very well be that person. She didn't even need the 10-inning points. She picks up the single and 2 RBIs. She moves ahead of Carrie Eberly by 10. Mcclenny and Chitister will benefit from those inning points as we look down, and you're starting to see more blue climb up the leaderboard right now. O'Toole up into 17th place after a good performance yesterday.
And Mulipola creeping up the leaderboard puts more pressure on Carrie Eberly.
Absolutely.
Because there's nothing like being in the gold uni. That's the top dog. That's the best out of everyone after the weekend. So whether or not Carrie Eberly thinks about that, the more Mulipola creeps up, the more Carrie Eberly has to be efficient with outs and gain points.
There's Taylor Mcquillen coming back in. Saw her yesterday before the wheels kind of came off for Team Harshman, and she's back out there today.
Yeah, she is coming from the left side. Has a great curveball, backdoor curveball.
Here's her first pitch to Erica Piankistelli, who sends this one on top of the concession stands in the concourse for strike one. Piankistelli already has singled. You see her rising up into the top 25, into the 22nd spot on the leaderboard. Outside ball one from Mcquillen. Mcquillen, a member of Team Mexico at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, professional in Japan as well, catches the inside corner. Castelli, a member of Team Italy, welcomed one of her teammates from Italy, Greta Cicchetti, to the league this year. Was on Team Eberly as this is up the middle. There's a little bit of a miscommunication potentially between Romero and Harshman. Another run comes across. It's already 5 for Team Mulipola in this inning. fans, it's time to earn points for watching. If you're an Unlimited Club member, enter the code on the screen into your Athletes Unlimited app to earn points and move up the leaderboard yourself. To get the app, you can download it for free and get access to great AU content and experiences all season long. 7 straight players have reached base for Team Mulipola. And this could really get out of hand if it's not already, with them trailing by 6 runs. There is still obviously tons to play for with 5 innings to go, so there's 50 points right there, but the game is starting to get away from Team Harshman right now. Swing and a miss from Stokes O'Connor.
And you have to think as well, Kelsey Harshman, first-time captain. So when she's picking and choosing that first time out, I think that's when you kind of learn just different things that are going to work, what athletes you're going to gel with, how all of it's going to go down. And it's a little bit of a learning curve, your first time figuring all of that out.
Stokes O'Connor goes down on strikes for out number 2.
Taylor Mcquillen just painting corners, curveball, great spot. I'd like to see that pitch consistently called. Height of the pitch and all. So good.
Sam Fisher led this inning off with a ground out to third base. And then 5 runs followed that. 8 hits in the game already for Team Mulipola. Sam Fisher still trying to find her bat right now. This is what I'm talking about. She's in 13th place. She's only hitting 125. She's been on the right teams, though, certainly this week. Can she help herself out here with some stat points? I think the Athletes Unlimited model lends itself to teams in this situation if Team Harshman can get out of it right here. Of really, you always, the cliche is kind of like 1 at bat at a time, 1 inning at a time, whatever it is, 1 run at a time. We don't have to get everything back at once. And with the Athletes Unlimited model, playing with points every single inning on the line, it really lends itself to that mentality. And we've seen it. We've seen comebacks because of that, I think. It's not just oh, well, we'll get them tomorrow. This is in awkward territory over Harshman. Mulipola coming around to score. And it's a 6th run here in the 2nd. Sam Fisher getting in on the action.
The third baseman, number 88, Nadia Taylor.
This is just kind of right in the Bermuda Triangle. Finds a way to drop right in. Team Mulipola just continuing to keep pouring it on, finding holes.
Not to take away anything they've done at the plate. Nadia Taylor crushed a double earlier in this inning. But there have been, it feels like 3 or 4 of those that are just kind of bloop shots. And as a pitcher, you're probably thinking, man, I can't catch a break right now. Nadia watches that strike on the inside corner, 1-1. Already 6 base hits in the inning. Nadia had the first one. And it's kind of funny, she has the only extra base hit in an inning where they have scored 6 runs. A run was walked in. 3 RBI singles, 4 RBI singles now that Fisher just did it. Two-1 from Mcquillen. That catches the inside corner. That's a good location.
And I just keep pumping back in underneath Nadia Taylor's hands. That's how pitchers earn points. +4 for every single out recorded. -10 for those earned runs.
Swing and a miss. She went back to that spot and got Nadia Taylor. Not before, though, 6 runs come across. And it was a lot of singles. But Team Mulipola gets 10 more points.
I'm blessed to be a part of a league that truly uses their platform to amplify the athletes' voices. And everything from mental health to as LGBTQ plus rights to racial equity, to be able to say what's on their mind and to be convicted in that and then truly inspire others. The priority is athlete, not only on the field, but who they are as a person.
Today we are celebrating Power in My Voice. The initiative is part of Athletes Unlimited's mission to empower the development of athletes as civic leaders on and off the field and elevate them as role models for the next generation of athletes and fans. To learn about this initiative, Power in My Voice, go to auprosports.com. Jasmine Jackson is actually the manager of civic leadership for Athletes Unlimited. That's a full-time position for her. Obviously plays in the league as well. She is somebody who helps drive a lot of the initiatives in this league, and it is all player-driven, which I know a lot of people love. Sarah Spain talked about that yesterday. This is the way a lot of fans and players want leagues to be ran at the highest levels by the players. Rachel Lewis picked up her first professional hit yesterday. Odyssey misses outside, 3-1. Here's Nicole Rangel-Mendez out of Oklahoma, replacing Kiki Stokes-O'Connor in left field. Nicole played a lot of right field at AUX in San Diego. Left side, Ellie Cooper jumps out of the way. Those 6 runs last inning for Team Mulipola, all charged to Danielle Watson, and they were all earned. That is minus 60 for her in the inning. That's something, we're talking about the top of the leaderboard. You're looking as a hitter potentially going to do it. Carrie Eberly right now is the front runner as a pitcher to do it yet again. She will start game 2 today for her team. If she does not have a good inning, if they don't perform well, the leaderboard could really change and help these hitters out to try and build a bit of a lead on Carrie.
Thank God she's wearing a cage. Ooh. Or should I say a helmet in general, but high velocity in on the hands, quick turn, but glad she's okay.
It's fouled straight back. See the Title IX logo there on the helmets of these Athletes Unlimited players. Celebrated the 50th anniversary in San Diego during AUX. Here's the 3-2 from Odyssey Alexander. And misses. Rachel Lewis is aboard, and it is really a new ball game right now for Team Harshman. Trying to get some inning points here in the third. Aaliyah Andrews, well, this is what she did yesterday defensively.
Just a heck of a catch. I mean, legit layout. I'm still waiting to see the image. I want to see the photo, because those are the ones that I'd be printing off and having in like a trophy room of my Air Andrews, because she's had so many.
You need the life-size version of it straight across the wall.
I know, wouldn't that be cool?
Yep. Trying to lay down a bunt, spins foul. Plenty of those pictures in a purple jersey over her career and her time playing for Beth Torina at LSU. Her sister AJ also played at LSU. Actually, was the first woman to ever win a Gold Glove award. It runs in the family. In her second season with Athletes Unlimited. Oh, 0-2 pitch from Alexander. 1-2. Leah trying to give her captain Kelsey Harshman in the on-deck circle something to work with right here as they try to crawl their way back. We've already seen an 8-run comeback. Team Harshman knows it all too well. They were leading 8-1 going into the bottom of the 6th yesterday and lost 9-1. or 9-8, excuse me. Props to the crowd today. It's a pretty good crowd for the weather that we had, certainly at the beginning. It is still a very light sprinkle. It's gotten better as this game's gone on. You can actually start to see a little bit of sunlight leaking through. This is skied into shallow center. No problem for Mclenny.
The second baseman, number 33, Harshman.
So from one great center fielder to another, we've seen them both flash the leather. Mclenny at the wall, Andrews coming in. See the 20-degree difference from one day to the next. The umbrellas have pretty much been put away. Harshman fouls this one back toward the TV truck. I mean, 467 first 2 weeks of the season and top 20th spot on the leaderboard right now. Of course, was top 4 after week 1. One to Chitister, knocks it down, gonna be tough, and she launches it over the head of Leach, covering first base. Harshman stays at first, and Lewis is up to third.
The left fielder, number 25, Mcquillen.
Chitty goes to her glove side to get this. A lot of hustle up the line by Kelsey Harshman. But it's just the flip. Her body had to stay kind of down through it and get her lower half moving towards Aubry Leach if she wanted to kind of throw that flip on the money. Just got away from her.
First and third, just one away for Megan Wiggins. Strike one on the outside corner.
Right now, everything is about trying to find a way to score. Still don't have a hit up on the board.
Off the end of the bat, Harshman looks Lewis back. Nice play there. Or excuse me, Leach looks Lewis back. Harshman moves to second, and there's 2 away.
Number 2, Sydney Romero.
Rachel Lewis thought about it, has some speed, but didn't want to be that out at home.
Wanted to give Sydney Romero a chance, which isn't a bad decision to make. 263 average on the season. This week has hurt Sydney on the leaderboard a little bit. She came in 21st, so she's dropped double-digit spots. Inside corner 0-2. She had a chance in San Diego going into that last day. Was really in the mix, needed a big swing in basically her last at bat to give herself a chance. Ended up finishing 6th. That hits the turf.
And that one just got away from Odyssey. You see that little smile to Mulipola. It's a good block, keeps it in front.
'50th pitch coming here in the top of the third for Odyssey Alexander. Romero connects with it, but it'll be on the top of the fence in foul territory. Sydney Romero thought about testing her former Oklahoma teammate Nicole Rangel-Mendez. It's a big one here. Can Romero deliver? Into left center, long way to go, and it will find a spot at the bottom of the wall. It's a 2 RBI double for Sydney Romero, and a huge moment there for Team Harshman to collect a couple runs.
good at bat by Sydney Romero. She doesn't even finish her swing. She goes down to go get this. I think for a second she thinks it either might be a home run or a pop-up because she's not running hot out of the box, but has some good carry. And that's what Team Harshman needs right now. They got to start to get some momentum going.
Taylor Edwards trying to keep it going. As Alexander just misses on the outside corner. Taylor struck out back in the first inning to end the inning. This is off the end of the bat. Well, for every run scored during this year's Athletes Unlimited softball season, Aspiration is planting 10 trees. We had 450 already committed entering week 2 thanks to Aspiration's support. We'll keep you updated on that total as we go along. Sydney Romero planted 20 just a minute ago with Team Harshman's first hit of the game. Another one off the end of the bat by Edwards. Two inside.
She wanted it, I'd say, just a little bit too much in the batter's box. Mulipola doesn't even frame it because she knows it's too far in.
This one over the plate. Taylor fights it off. Odyssey Alexander has to feel good with her team plating 7 in the first 2 innings. Just trying to limit the damage here, though, in the third. Keep that big cushion of 5 runs. Upstairs, 3-2. This one, will it be playable? I don't think it will.
Good job, y'all.
The quality of at-bats 1 through 9 in this league is tough to match. I don't know that you will see it anywhere else.
Well, and you can always tell at times, too, based on a pitcher's pitch count. If they're having to throw high pitch counts, they're having a battle. They're having to throw a lot of pitches. These hitters are making the pitchers work. They're fouling off pitches. They're not swinging and missing very often.
That's the 8th pitch of the at-bat right there, and there will be at least a 9th.
I like it. Mulipola going out. Hey, what do you want here? Where are you at?
Is that last one changed? Is that last one changed?
3-2, 60th pitch coming here in the third. Edwards hits it well. Deep left center field. Taylor Edwards touches them all. Wouldn't be surprised to see Taylor Edwards off the draft board in a hurry in week 3.
This was the 9th pitch of the at-bat. This is a curveball. She stays on time with it. Maybe it doesn't bleed out a little bit as much as Odyssey would like it to. And just mashes this to left center field. What a good quality at-bat by Taylor Edwards.
251 feet. And this game has gotten a lot closer in a short amount of time. 4 runs here in the third. Team Harshman looking for their first win points of the game, and they've got a good chance to do it in the third inning. Tori Vidalis Dallas swings through that one, strike 2. Thumbs up from Taylor Edwards. Good pitch there from Alexander, freezes Vidalis. But it's Taylor Edwards after the double from Sydney Romero. Taking care of business, a 2-run shot. They're in a good spot to win the 3rd. Well, things got a lot more interesting. Team Harshman plating 4 runs thanks to Sydney Romero and Taylor Edwards in the 3rd inning. Big swing from here.
Oh, I mean, we're talking back-to-back days where Taylor Edwards truly is feeling it. She's having good quality at bats.
Big time swing there from Taylor Edwards, and we have Taylor mic'd up behind the plate, catching Taylor Mcquillen. Taylor, I was so excited to ask you about the pitcher-catcher relationship every week, but we'll get to that. Take us first through that last at-bat for you.
Oh my goodness. Just staying in each pitch and just forgetting about the last because, man, I look real bad on those change-ups. But you keep battling, kids. You keep battling. Thanks, sis.
Is there a thought process for you from your first at-bat off of Odyssey? What was the adjustment you wanted to make your second at-bat, besides obviously fouling off a lot of pitches?
Yeah, I definitely needed to be on time with her, and I haven't actually got to hit up her a lot. Here you go. Ball. But yeah, just being on time and seeing the ball out of the hand, definitely.
Taylor, what's it like for you? Each week, you guys obviously onto these these teams with new pitching staff. Ball. Take us through the first day or two, maybe. How are you communicating to pitchers? Is that the first thing you do? Is go talk to your staff and try to figure out what they want?
Yeah, I definitely go to them and just communicate like, hey, this is my stuff. This is what I got. Good. And just trusting the process. These women are so difficult to pitch to, and just getting these pitchers comfortable. And obviously our teams are changing every single week, and so the faster, good. The faster that I can get the pitchers comfortable and connecting with me, battery just takes off.
What's it like for you being able to kind of like work with the rookies? Because, you know, Taylor Mcquillen, you've caught for her, you know her, but Danielle Watson, a little bit of a different story being that rookie.
Come on. Hold it. Yeah, rookies just getting them out of their own heads and just trusting that they can actually throw to the river. The strike zone is wider here. Here you go. And these hitters are just so much better. And just developing that different mindset and getting them more of like an open mindset as well. There's all strikes.
So you know the strike zone's bigger, but does the umpire behind you know that the strike zone's a little bit? Just kidding.
See ya. But no, these rookies are definitely working their butts off, and they're making themselves known, and it's really cool to see.
As far as kind of prep going into a game with your pitchers, do you sit down and watch video with them at all? How do you talk scouting reports, little things like that?
Good. I don't necessarily watch video with the pitchers. Just communicating and what plans they usually attack each hitter, because their view is different as ours, but being able to being able to connect quicker and having that fire, because we set the tone for the rest of the team. So if we can get on the same page and just communicate honestly, it definitely gets our team rolling faster. One.
Taylor, we appreciate you letting us listen in. That's what we're going to do, though. We'll stop bothering you. We just want to listen to the communication.
Oh, you guys are good. Thank you for having me. Man, I'm jealous of these. Here you go, Tay. Yeah, perp. Nobody. Come on. Hey, look what
look what I
Hey,
got.
look at what I found. Here we go. Got one. Dude, I'm telling you guys, something special about the being mic'd up and also in the chair chat. I'm telling you, something wild always happens. Jump.
Let's keep the mic open.
Yeah,
good
seriously.
things are happening for
That
her.
was great.
Atta girl, here you go. See you. Good job. Yeah, Tay, here you go. Good. Good job. I like that there. Good work. Hey, he scored too. Yep. Good job. Thank you. Good. Here you go, baby. Great, keep going. Thank you. Good. Do you like that? Yeah, iffy. I don't know. All right.
Tough crowd.
Yeah. You never know, man. Come on, babe. Ooh.
Ball.
Come on. Yeah, Tay. With you right here. Yeah, baby, use it. Good job, buddy. Good job.
Taylor Edwards, well done. We're gonna cut you off. We're gonna let you lock in completely. That was gold, though. You're golden.
Thank you guys very much. Love doing these. So, pick up.
And we love hearing from Taylor Edwards. That was outstanding, the entire thing. And the communication, she has a tremendous sense of humor, too, which I have to think as a pitcher, you love that lightheartedness she brings, that calmness. Mulipola fouls it back. And a great snag on the Aubry Leach foul ball.
I'm going to take a little bit of that, a little luck.
Absolutely,
coming from
yeah. After Oba Nichols earlier in the week, we have to take some credit for that one, I think.
Yeah.
That was the same pitch.
Andrew's big catch came with Kelsey Harshman mic'd up on the field. Got to hear her reaction. 1-1 from Mcquillen outside, ball 2. First and second with 2 outs. Certainly, I think coming out of the top of the third, there was momentum for Team Harshman. If they can get out of this little jam here with the first 2 base runners reaching, there could be a lot of momentum. They get the 10 points. And they head to the 4th, down just 3, which you wouldn't have believed after the bottom of the 2nd inning. Look at that, little souvenir. They got a good spot down there. A lot of balls end up in that little spot in foul territory down the left side. Full count, Mulipola making Mcquillen work. She had a 2 RBI singled her last time up and came around to score. Popped up into the stands. Peyton St. George getting warm for Team Mulipola, potentially for the next inning or 2. Get some new softballs on the field. Another 3-2. Mulipola into right field. It's down and past Busby to the wall. Mulipola is going to cruise into second base. A 2 RBI double this time.
Mulipola is making a good push for trying to be in that gold jersey potentially as a captain. This is an off-speed pitch. This is not a bad pitch by Taylor Mcquillen. It's not. Just Deja Mulipola wasn't fooled. She was on time with it. Kept her weight back.
Brings in Bates and Mcclenny and makes way for Piankistelli and has the runner in scoring position. Big swing there from Erica Piankistelli.
Well, in order for Team Mulipola to win this third inning, they're going to have to score 3 runs to do it or 2 runs to tie it. As of right now, with Harshman 4-2 here in this inning, they're winning. That 10 points for everyone.
Deja's found herself 40 points clear of Carrie Eberly, and we are just in the 3rd inning. Deja's making a case for herself to have an MVP spot too. She's 2 for 3 and she's driven 4 runs in for her team. 0-2 to Piankistelli. Erica Piankistelli is a 4-time Southland Conference Player of the Year. The McNeese record book has her name at the top of about every offensive category. Italian-born, moved to California when she was 5 years old, plays for the Italian national team. Pops this one up into center field. Andrews is under it, and she makes the grab. So Team Harshman does secure the points. It's Romero and Edwards right there on your screen getting the job done. 10 points for Team Harshman on a day where Athletes Unlimited celebrates power in my voice.
This is good footage, guys. Yeah, Chad! Oh my gosh, bro. I was like, I gotta start. You started with... My shoe was untied. I knew she was gonna hit it at me.
I love it. She caught the slide too from Harshman that she started about 10 feet before second base. Love when we have Sis Bates mic'd up. You will always get good stuff from her. The energy, you never know what you're going to hear.
She always just has such a good personality. They have brought in Sydney Littlejohn Watkins.
1-0 on the season, a 2.1 ERA and 6 2/3. She's got the curveball, and we will see that featured primarily.
And she throws it to both sides of the plate, away to those righties, as well as a back door, which will look like it's going to hit a right-handed hitter and dive back in for a strike. And she's one of those pitchers that it's just different than an Odyssey Alexander. Odyssey is good velocity, upper 60s, can spin it, but focuses at times a little bit more on location and spinning that pitch a little bit harder. You think of Sydney Littlejohn Watkins, you just don't tend to see many pitchers throw it with the amount of break that she has on her pitches. Now, you cannot make the ball break the way Sydney Littlejohn Watkins does if you throw the ball 70 miles an hour, because there's just not enough time from the 43 feet to the plate for that ball to move when it's coming in at 70. But when you throw anywhere from 58 to 62, it gives you more window room to really snap that pitch off and break it off to where you want it to go.
Sat behind home plate when they were practicing in San Diego, and it was the first time I'd seen her throw live. And she threw the curveball the first time, and I about fell out of my chair. It broke so much, and you see it right there. That was nice.
And I'm sure Amanda Chitister, you see her kind of chatting a little bit at first base just on her strikeout. She was frustrated about it. And
Find it.
it's at times the one thing that you just have no control over, is the umpire. And I've battled so many of those demons of like, oh, I'm going to get frustrated, or I'm going to pound my mitt, or I'm going to stare at them. It doesn't change what's going to happen, right? Like, I think as pitchers and hitters, when you come to the mentality that the umpire's, he's going to call what he's going to call, and you're either going to battle and get by it, or you're not.
3-2 count for little John Watkins to Courtney Gano to lead off the inning. We've got yesterday's winning pitcher, Danielle O'Toole, and the AUX champion from San Diego sitting in the chair. Danielle relaxing after a lot of hard work yesterday. They got a couple runs early on you. What was the key to just kind of settle in and go the distance?
I've said this before, but it usually, if I plan on throwing a full game, which I, like, in my head knew I was probably going to do, it takes me, like, 3 innings to, I call it, like, heat up. It's just, like, find the strike zone, which yesterday I didn't know where it was until, like, the end of the game. Yeah, just find the strike zone, just kind of get in my groove. Deja and I have not been teammates since college. I have not thrown to her since college. So it took us a couple innings to kind of find our pace and kind of get on track with each other. Oh, nice. So I definitely think that was in it a little bit, but it was fun. I had fun yesterday.
Danielle, I have to ask, just your mentality going into every single outing, like, what do you personally do? Are you someone that likes to watch video? Do you like to connect with the catcher a little bit? Do you not like to watch anything at all? I'm just curious how you go about your business with that.
Throughout my whole career, I've always been very I don't know what the word is, but I've always watched a lot of video. Always just kind of talked everything through. I go through the lineup multiple times. I have a notebook. Like, I've been very cerebral when it comes to talking about the game and, like, thinking about it. This year, I've taken a little bit of a different approach because it is my last year. I am more nonchalant about it, just kind of like everybody in the league, we know each other so well, so it's almost like I don't really have to prepare because that information is already in there. So just, taking it it's very weird being at peace and just kind of very nonchalant about the whole thing.
Isn't it like the best feeling in the world, though?
It's so weird. Yeah, it almost makes me like, gosh, but you know what? I'm very good. I'm very good with my decision. It's very nice playing, like feeling very free while you're playing, and I don't think I've ever felt that before.
Well, and I remember this last year with the Olympics, like knowing that every single outing was my last. So it's like really appreciating those little moments.
Exactly.
So it's cool to hear you say that. What was the time off for you after AUX going into this championship season?
I did not lift my arm past the point of where it is right now. I did not pick up a ball. I didn't do anything. I was gardening with my dad for like the majority of it. Yeah, it's just, this has been incredible. So like you said something, and somebody told me, like, when you start like really, the word is romanticizing, but like when you start like really feeling and like seeing things, like everything just looks different now that like I have made that decision. Like everything feels different. It's such a like a liberating feeling.
Well, Danielle, we have really enjoyed watching you since your days in college and certainly as a pro, and what you've done this year. We will not count you out. You've made a big move on the leaderboard. We will not count you out.
Don't tell me because
no, we're not telling you. We're not telling you.
I haven't looked. I don't, honestly, I don't want to say I don't care about the points, but I'm playing just to play out here, and wherever I end up, but I have not looked.
Keep doing your thing. Thank you so much.
I'll see you guys.
Danielle O'Toole, fantastic performance yesterday. She might not want to know, but she made a big jump yesterday too, and she's in a good spot today with her team leading. Close game, a little bit different after Team Mulipola plated 2 runs, but I would not count this Team Harshman out with a little momentum right now, trying to build that. Yes, Team Mcquillen is back out there, trying to keep her side tight as we look ahead at our schedule this week. Tomorrow, 5 Eastern, the Week 3 draft. I love draft day. Love a chance to see what these new teams are going to look like, who our captains will be, which we will know in just a few hours at the conclusion of Week 2. And then lacrosse, it's their championship. Week 4 coming up on Thursday on ESPN2 and ESPNU. We are back here, Danielle, Lori, and myself, for Week 3 of Athletes Unlimited Softball on ESPN2 and ESPN Plus next Friday. Feeling good that you can say Deja Mulipola will probably be one of the 4 captains. You never know. Never know what could happen, but she is in a really good spot right now on the leaderboard. Up top, we've got Team Jaquish and Team Eberly coming up next, 4:30 Eastern on ESPN Plus. Bottom of the 4th. Team Mulipola comfortable with a 5-run lead, but everybody knows how quick things can change. Nicole Rangel-Mendez, her first chance at the plate as she fouls it back, replaced Kiki Stokes-O'Connor in the field a couple innings ago. Rangel-Mendez out of Oklahoma. Her team 12 for 21, hitting .571 in this game through 3 innings. It's a nice spot from Mcquillen on the outside corner to get ahead 0-2.
Well, and I would never count out any team in this league, whatever the score is, and especially Team Harshman. They've lost back-to-back games. They lost after being ahead 8-1, and that has to be frustrating. That has to be that fight or flight mentality when you're going into Sunday. You want to just continue to keep battling, and you want to give yourself the best type of feeling heading into draft day. And yeah, someone's got to win and someone's got to lose, but at times everything is about feel and how you personally feel. If you feel great, you make everyone around you better.
Mcquillen feeling great right there with a big smile on her face.
She's come in and used that curveball to her advantage, and she snapped it into Nadia Taylor. Amanda Chitister didn't like it, but based on the new strike zone, a little bit lower, a little bit higher, I think that was a good call.
Catches the inside upper part of the zone right there to start Sam Fisher off. 0-1, Fisher RBI single her last trip to the plate. Batted twice in the 2nd inning. Deja Mulipola proving herself a formidable captain here in Week 2, and she has somebody in Sam Fisher who did that in San Diego. Sometimes I wonder too if, I think we hear it, you'll see, not that Amanda Chitister isn't a tremendous talent, shouldn't be picked in the top 10 a lot, but when you hear about her getting picked, I almost always hear it followed by, I wanted Chitty because she can help me with this team. She can help me lead this team. And I think Sam Fisher is one of those people who knows now after San Diego about how to run a team successfully.
Well, they're actually really, really good friends.
Yeah.
And they both are. They're pros in this league. And when I say pro, I mean like vets. They've been playing this game for a long time, a lot of experience. And those are the types of players that I would ask for help if I was a captain. I will say this, after talking with some of the athletes over the course of the last couple days, the trend at times seems to be kind of that 1st, 2nd, 3rd round draft pick are the ones that they feel confident enough to be able to ask for help or suggestions based on lineups or just little things like that.
Popped up, Sydney Romero makes the snag for the 2nd out. We talked a lot about this strike zone here at Athletes Unlimited. It's a little different, Danielle.
Well, and I like it. I think that the ball should be expanded a little bit here, where you see this is a ball that's up in the zone, top of the zone. This is a pitch by Danielle Watson that's down. You see Taylor Mcquillen gets it on the river. I'm here for it. And at the end of the day, sometimes the hitters can get a little bent out of shape on a pitch, but for this game here, competing against each other religiously, I don't think it's a bad thing to expand the zone a little bit. I think hitters at times don't give themselves enough credit that they can hit a ball off the plate or that they can hit a ball at the numbers or they can go down to get something. And once you're in that mentality that it doesn't matter where it's pitched, if I'm fully committed to wanting to hit it and make the adjustment I can. And same thing goes for the pitchers. You don't always need the biggest strike zone, but location is going to win you a lot more pitches than heavy velocity, and that's something to truly focus on both sides of the ball.
Hitters are thinking, if you make them bring this over the plate, I'm going to crush it. And pitchers are thinking, if you make me put that on the plate, they are going to crush it. I've got to get a little help here.
Like, there's just no way that I would want to throw like Amanda Chitister a ball over the plate, Deja Mulipola, like Haley Mcclinney. Any one of these hitters, they're bred to take you deep if you miss. And this league, you're expected in the professional ranks as a pitcher to do your job, and that's to hit location. And if you miss over the heart of the plate, at times you have to pay for it.
Nadia Taylor skies this one foul.
You switched it up. Yours over there, no?
1-2 count. 60th pitch coming from Mcquillen here in this game.
We'll see.
Relief for Watson.
We'll see the adjustment with Nadia Taylor with that strikeout on the inner half on the curveball. Her last at bat against Taylor Mcquillen. She's fouled off a couple on the inner half. Looks like she's going to go back there. And that's the one thing to think about as a pitcher. Hitters, that second, third time that they come up and face you, they're going to make an adjustment. You need to know that in the back of your head.
Nadia Taylor smokes one.
So for instance, if you're facing Nadia Taylor and you know, hey, I got the strikeout on the curve on the inner half, her last at bat. And the second time that you're going to face her, if you're Taylor Mcquillen, it's like, hey, she's probably going to be ready for something in, but is there a difference between throwing it half an inch more in than the last one, seeing what she does with it? And now they've just pounded the inside part of the zone, so it can potentially expand and open up some different things.
She does go further inside, and now it's a full count. That's the head game, though, right? I mean, Nadia Taylor could be thinking,
cat and mouse.
You know, is she going to come back with it? Maybe she goes somewhere different because she's thinking I'm sitting on it. That's probably overthinking it at the plate.
Well, now it potentially opens up maybe that backdoor curveball. Looks like they're going to go back in. But the more you just continue to hone in on the inner part of the plate to a hitter, especially going on the 10th pitch of the at-bat, I would want to go away here and see if I can get her caught looking on a backdoor curveball. When Taylor Mcquillen can throw that pitch, keep it down in the zone, it is a tough pitch. And we're right back in.
10th pitch, it went from 0-2 to 3-2, and Mcquillen is going to win it. Vidalis makes the play at first base. For the first inning of the game, it is zeros for both sides. Everybody chasing those medals here at the championship season. Nine to 4, Team Mulipola leading Team Harshman. 20 inning points on the line here in the 5th inning. As Deja Mulipola, she was third after week 1. She has herself right now in a great spot, 40 points clear of Carrie Eberly. She's in a great spot to pick up 50 more when this game comes to a conclusion, barring a big comeback from Team Harshman. And the question is, it's a snake-style draft, so whoever finishes 4th drafts first. It goes 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 1 picks again, and you go on from there. Deja Mulipola picks 2nd after week 1. Now, if she finishes first, she'll be picking 4th. She took Danielle O'Toole 2nd overall and then comes back and gets Mclenny in the 7th spot. I think the question is, will Danielle O'Toole be available, as she is one of the top arms here? Will she be available for Deja Mulipola? I don't think there's any doubt if she is. She takes her, right?
I don't think without a doubt. And to me, the standout is pitching.
Yeah.
That's the difference maker between being able to be in tight games, to be able to win those innings.
That is rocketed off the bat of Andrews over Rangel Mendez. Aaliyah's into 2nd with a double.
The second baseman,
This ball elevated up in the zone, but Aaliyah Andrews all about the speed, turns it on. I thought for a second she's going to go to 3. 20 points for Aaliyah Andrews.
Aaliyah's somebody you always wonder where she'll go in the draft board too, because she can swing it. But man, the glove in center field, and that's kind of how the draft goes. You said it, pitching, extremely important. And it seems like it's always pitcher, shortstop, center fielders that you will see off the board right out of the gates. Aaliyah moves up to third.
Well, and it's pitcher chemistry, because different pitchers mesh well throwing off of each other. So that's also another tactic. You don't want to have 3 power arms all together. You want to be able to mix and to be able to have someone like a Little John Watkins to be able to bring her in after an Odyssey Alexander that throws hard. And same thing goes with Carrie Eberle. If Carrie Eberle's a captain, okay, well, is she have the ability to get a Rachel Garcia who can complement her because she goes up in the zone so well? It's only going to add value to what her role is out in the circle, because the next person that she brings in, for instance, Garcia, it's a harder adjustment as a hitter to face someone 70 down in the zone to then someone 65 to 68 up in the zone. So those are all things that you have to think about as a captain when you're going in to draft your team on Monday. And a lot of it's quick thinking. And okay, all right, who's available? What's the connection with this person? Do I gel well here? There's so many factors. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Is that why we've seen so much success? I mean, you always knew that you liked the lineup offensively for Team Mulipola. But then you talk about the complement there of Sydney Littlejohn Watkins and Odyssey Alexander. You have your ace in Danielle O'Toole, and then the rookie from Duke, Peyton St. George. Is that why this team has worked so well, just the compliments?
Yeah, well, when you're able to get those complete games by pitchers like Danielle O'Toole, that's a really big deal, so that helps.
Wiggins, an RBI single to bring in Andrews.
And then offensively, like, I kind of look at Team Mulipola and it across the board, they're just dangerous because they have the leadership in Haley Mcclinney and Amanda Chitister. They have the defense with Sis Bates and Aubry Leach up the middle. They have the power, obviously, with Mulipola and what she can do. But more importantly, they have the pitching. So when you have all facets of the game, it allows for you to be successful. It's tough to just have a really good defensive team and maybe a pitcher that can't get through 4 innings on their own. Then you got to start to think, and as a captain, okay, we need 6 outs here, and then we'll try to get 6 outs out of this pitcher. There can just be a lot behind the scenes that maybe people don't know about that makes that captain role special, but also stressful.
Yeah. And who can handle it well, too, of putting that team together while also, you know, I asked you, would you look at the leaderboard if you were playing? I said, no, like that, I don't want to get too much in my own head about that stuff, and we hear that from a lot of people, but can you, as someone who is having success individually and with their team, stay focused when you're trying to do your own thing and also run your team successfully? This is tapped over Sis Bates. Romero moves Wiggins over. Could this be a big inning for Team Harshman?
She just stays short through it. She just goes down and gets it, almost like a golf swing. Doesn't even finish her swing, but waits on the movement. That's what you have to do with Sydney Littlejohn Watkins. You have to be able to time up that movement, not have a really big aggressive swing, because that's when she gets you.
Quick visit from Jen Salling to talk to Littlejohn Watkins and Mulipola as we see Taylor Edwards, and this is what she did last time.
No big deal. Stays on plane with this curveball. This gets out of here in a heartbeat. 40 points for Taylor Edwards, and an opportunity right now to do some damage with a couple ducks on the pond.
Sits in the 20th spot. 20 points up for grabs here in the 5th. They already have 1 run, but just 1 away. Sydney Littlejohn Watkins in a bit of a jam here, 1st and 2nd. Here it is, down the left field line. It's down in front of Rangel Mendez, and around comes Wiggins. 2 runs across. It's just a 3-run lead for Team Mulipola now.
First baseman, number 29, Tori Dallas.
Does a really good job just turning on this inside pitch. Right straight down the line to Rangel Mendez. Does a good job of getting it to cut it off, but Wiggins definitely has some speed. She was gonna be a sure thing.
Can Team Harshman completely flip the script of what we saw yesterday? Vidalis, tough spot, running on, makes the catch as Piankistelli, and that is a big out number 2.
Third baseman,
Romero on second, Edwards over at first base. She's already moved up 8 spots today into the 18th spot on the leaderboard. Pinch hitter Jordan Roberts, third-year player out of Florida, will replace Gano here at the plate.
pitch hitting for the third baseman, Courtney Gano, number 41, Jordan Roberts. Roberts back.
Little John Watkins limit the damage. Already has given up 2 runs in this inning. We saw Jen Salling a moment ago come out and have a little circle visit with Little John Watkins and Mulipola. You get the feeling that Jen Salling, as a facilitator for Team Mulipola, has a larger role than with some of the other captains. Not that they don't, but I think Deja Mulipola says, hey, I need you here.
And that's exactly what she told Jen Salling when she knew she was going to be the facilitator. Hey, I'm going to pass some of the reins to you. Obviously, everything is filtered through the captain, and no decision is made by a facilitator unless the captain knows. But I like that they had that conversation prior to, and here they are.
How would you be? Would you?
I would. It's funny because I was out with Victoria Hayward and Kelsey Jenkins, or Harshman, excuse me, and Jen Salling, and some of them last night, and they're like, oh, you would totally be all you'd make the decisions. And I'm sitting over here like, guys, I would probably be passing the reins to the facilitator and to some of my loyal friends. But it was funny the way they're like, you would love just being in control. It's not that I wouldn't like being in control. Just some of
No, I like being in control.
Yeah, some of the outside stuff and substitutions and flex, and there's a lot of moving parts to being ultimately the one in control.
Why not? There's some very capable facilitators here. Jen Salling and Ellie Cooper, the 2 we see in this game. Tatum Edwards and Charlotte Morgan, the other 2.
Well,
Kelsey Harshman, all smiles.
And you get to hear people out, but like I said, you ultimately get to be the one that does make that decision.
Yeah.
Like Ellie Cooper is not making this hitting change to Kaylee Clifton right now if it's not going through Kelsey Harshman as the captain.
Courtney Gano is back in the game, taking over as the runner for Roberts.
Gano is back in at first base to run for Jordan Roberts, so she re-enters as Clifton is at the plate in a huge moment with 2 outs. Replacing Haley Busby here at the plate. Great pitch there. You could see the movement from Little John Watkins.
This is a fun opportunity here for Kaylee Clifton. 2 down, bases loaded, really spinny pitcher.
This could be a defining moment in this game. Little John Watkins versus Kaylee Clifton with the go-ahead run at the plate. Kaylee Clifton's 3rd season at the University of Oklahoma. Ground ball left side, Sis Bates fields it, and makes the play. They strand the bases loaded, but 2 runs come across for Team Harshman. They're in a good spot for potential 20-inning win points if they can hold Team Mulipola in the bottom half. 9-6, it's getting tight here. Team Harshman will not go away quietly. They could pick up 20-inning win points here if Team Mulipola can't plate at least 2 runs. Another Oklahoma player, Shannon Sale, will take to the circle. This is a big moment. It's a 3-run game, but she is out there trying to hold this thing.
I like bringing her in here. Each pitcher had a goal today and was asked by Kelsey Harshman to focus on quality outs, and they're just passing the torch on here, Shannon Sale.
Let's go down to the 3rd member of our team, Key Michael.
Hey guys, we're staying dry in the dugout. I'm here with Savannah Collins. I love that I get to interview you for once because you're usually interviewing all the players. What is it you do for Athletes Unlimited?
Thanks, yeah. I am the digital media reporter for Athletes Unlimited. So what that means is when it comes down to it, it's making sure our players have the coverage, the recognition that they deserve. So I write articles and features for our website to help tell our players stories, stay really engaged on social media to give them the recognition that they earn and they need in these games from their performances, doing video packages, post-game interviews, so a little bit of everything, but what it really comes down to is telling the players stories and how fantastic they are.
You do so much and you do it so well, and that's not just coming from me. We all love you and we love what you do, but yesterday you got to interview Sarah Spain and she had really high words to speak of you. Said you were really professional. I feel like that's, yeah. I agree.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a very cool moment. Sarah Spain's been somebody that I've watched since I was really young on ESPN, just the way she carries herself. So that was a cool moment for me.
Awesome. Well, Power in My Voice is what we're celebrating today. What does it mean to you?
Yeah, you know, the Power My Voice campaign is really awesome. It's to encourage our fans, players, staff too, to exercise our civic duty. You know, it really comes down to registering to vote. It's our campaign with vote.org. This year's a big year for that. You know, you've got 435 seats in the House up, 35 seats in the Senate. So even though it's a midterm year, it's important to vote. And I'm glad that Athletes Unlimited encourages and puts a lot of emphasis on that through the Power My Voice campaign.
There's power in both of our voices. Thank you so much, Sav. Let's get back to the softball.
Savannah Collins does a great job down with Key Michael, who also does a nice job for us in the dugout, and featuring these players on Twitter, Instagram, telling their stories, and there are so many to tell. We see their personalities. We love it. That's one of our favorite parts of Athletes Unlimited, is seeing the personality that these players play with, and of course the exceptional talent as well. And here's Haley Mclenny right on cue. Exceptional talent. She has been, over the last 2 days, impossible to get out so far, so Shannon Sale will try to do that.
She's just a pest at the dish, like she really is. When she steps in the batter's box, her goal is to make it as emotionally tough on a pitcher that she possibly can. And I've gotten the chance never to be on our team, but to face her with Canada in our lead up to the Olympics. And I mean, she was by far one of the top 5 hitters in the world that I've ever faced as far as plate coverage, how hard she can hit it, how hard her at-bats really are. She's one of the best.
Who won?
I actually don't know, but she's gotten me a couple times. I say a win to me is when I get her to ground out or pop out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not always just talking the strikeout.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're probably, I'll have to go check it out on Wikipedia. We'll see.
Shannon Sale is working hard. It's a full count to start things off for her against Mclenny. Sis Bates to ground out back to her. Outside ball 4. Mclenny has now reached 9 straight times in the last 2 games. That's 8 points for her too. She's just slowly crawling up the leaderboard. Well, not so slowly, really. We showed you how big of a day she had yesterday. But it seems like every time she's at the plate, she's moving up. Aubry Leach trying to follow suit, watches ball 1 inside. Aubry finished in 17th back in 2020, took last year off. We told you she started law school at Tennessee. 0 for 2 today. She had an RBI walk back in the second. Taylor Edwards wants to talk to Shannon Sale. Rain still falling. It is just kind of a mist, but a consistent mist. This is ripped. Leach into right field. Rachel Lewis is out there in front of it. Back-to-back base runners with one out for Team Mulipola. 10 points for Aubry Leach.
Well, and Haley Mclenny had to do a really good job of getting out of the way that almost potentially hit her. And if it hits you on the base pass, you're an automatic out. So it's good heads-up base running.
Amanda Chitister. Dangerous batter here for Sale with just one out, 2 on. 13 hits in the game for Team Mulipola. Chitister has 2 of them. She is in the 4th spot. Asia Mulipola's thinking, somebody's got to get up ahead of her so I can pick her in this week's draft. Good spot from Sale. How careful are you here with Chitister, who sits atop the home run leaders 3-0? Obviously, you don't want to load the bases, but can't be too good.
I don't want to load the bases. I just want to hit a good spot.
And the bases are loaded. The problem is, it's Deja Mulipola that's coming up now.
The catcher, number 15.
When it goes from a quick out on Sis Bates to a pretty good at bat by Haley Mcclinney to draw that walk, but then the base hit to Leach, and then another walk to Amanda Chitister with a couple pitches that maybe were questionable, could have been strikes, but when you come into a game, especially late in the innings, you have to be able to establish the strike zone early. If you can't, you find yourself in a pickle like you are here with 2 walks and bases loaded to one of the strongest hitters in this league in Deja Mulipola.
Mclenny, Leach, Chitister across the base paths right now for Mulipola. Popped up, shallow right field. Lewis coming in, calls it off. Good communication there. Harshman pulls away, and they're laughing about it right there. It was a little close. That's a big out, though, right there.
Kelsey Harshman was still looking up like, oh, maybe. And they're having fun with it, and the communication is number 1. Who's yelling, who's screaming. And Rachel Lewis had to run a long way for that, but she tracked it pretty good. I think that was her ball. Just glad there wasn't a collision.
Yeah. She could deliver the blow, too. Be like a strong safety coming down.
Harshman down.
Yeah. Harshman, innocent bystander in that situation. Piankistelli's 2 for 3 with a couple singles and an RBI. See, Harshman might still be thinking that, like, I might be on the ground right now. Piankistelli, deep left center. We've been waiting, and she delivers! A monster shot from Erica Piankistelli.
Just an absolute monster. Rise ball just not up enough in the zone. She's able to barrel it up. She knows it right away. Still waiting for someone to try to see if they can beat Mulipola with that 322-foot shot she had last weekend, but pretty close, 302. That is a bomb.
We were talking earlier, she hit one in week 1. We've just been waiting because she is so strong. And that is 20 inning points delivered for Team Mulipola in big fashion. It also gives them a 7-run lead. This is ripped, and it's foul. Just over Vidalis. Curling foul off the bat of Rangel Mendez. Geico leaderboard, if you look at this, going to get 20 points. Mclenny will jump to second place after this inning. But Eberly, at best, if Team Mulipola wins, will be in 4th. So you will see blue in the top 3 spots, barring a massive comeback from Team Harshman. And that is not factoring in any MVP points. And you have to wonder, Erica Piankistelli probably should have some of those. That wasn't necessarily a game-winning Grand Slam, but it was
timely. Probably
a ceiling one. It does win them 20 points. She already had 2 hits in the game and an RBI. I do think she's got a good chance. That's hit hard. One sooner to another at shortstop as Sydney Romero takes care of it. But that is a big inning for Team Mulipola and Erica Piankistelli.
Well, it's just a matter of time. I've been talking about it. I'm like, when is she going to warm up? When are we going to see the big-time shot? 302 feet and 20 points for everyone on Team Mulipola.
There's power in my voice, there's power in your voice.
Power in My Voice, it's a campaign that encourages our fans to use their voice.
If you feel like something's wrong, voice your opinion. Because in order for things to change, we have to make it known.
We also want to do it intentionally. We don't want to just post something and then leave it there. We want to post something and then sign a petition, or post something and then vote, or speak up for your friend in class and then also have their back and still play with them at recess, right? Like, you want to be intentional about the power that you have within your voice.
Sometimes it might be scary to, find that courage within yourself, but there's extreme power in that because you're able to give yourself a platform to say, hey, this is how I feel, this is what I believe in, and I'm going to stand up for it.
Power in My Voice, the theme today here at Athletes Unlimited, the final day of week number 2. As you see Rachel Lewis swing at the off-speed pitch, 56 miles per hour from Peyton St. George. You can learn more about the Power in My Voice initiative if you visit auprosports.com. That's what they're doing right now, checking that out as they watch Peyton St. George enter the game. Now everybody except for Danielle O'Toole, who threw a complete game yesterday, has played for Team Mulipola today.
And I like that we're getting to just see some different pitchers, giving them an opportunity to feel it out a little bit as well before they head into draft day tomorrow. I always think it's so important to try to leave Sunday on some type of a good note, pull something positive. Whether you win or lose as a pitcher, if you go out and have a good quality outing, hit good spots, that's what you remember.
She had a good spot right there on the outside corner. Rachel Lewis disagrees. Got a lot longer to sit on it here at the championship season.
It's perfect location.
At AUX, it was 12 games in 2 weeks. Here, it's spread out over 5 weeks. It's 1 series each week instead of 3 in just those 2. So you throw in the extra team. Just a lot more time to sit around, think about it if you can't have a positive here. Leah Andrews trying to keep it going against Peyton St. George, the rookie out of Duke. Andrews doubled last time she was at the plate and scored. Team Mulipola can hold Team Harshman scoreless the next couple innings, they'll cap the day with 70 points, as they will get those inning win points regardless if they score or not. You have carryover inning points into the 7th. When the game ends, it goes to the team who wins the game. So there's still a possible 70 that Team Mulipola could get, and Team Harshman for that matter. They've got some work to do. Andrews trying to do her part. Sis Bates on the run, and she got Andrews. That had to be quick.
The second baseman, number 33, Kelsey Harshman.
This is a really good play. The ground's a little bit wet. She doesn't have enough time to just be able to get the direct contact of the holding four seams. She just quick, bang, bang. It really is just so much fun to watch at shortstop. Moves really well, doesn't let the pressure of speed get to her, executes and makes the very difficult plays look easy. That's a tough play to make with the pressure of Lee Andrews and the speed. And
Spades does make it look pretty darn easy. Peyton St. George have to love knowing who's at your shortstop position. Top of the order, Kelsey Harshman ahead in the count 2-0. Catches the outside corner, 2-1. This is the point in the game yesterday that Team Harshman was leading and Team Jaquish made their move. They scored 4 in the 6th and 4 in the 7th to walk it off against Kelsey Harshman's team. Inside corner, Harshman doesn't like it.
is that ball where the illustration?
I think so, right?
Shows? Yeah, it looks like it's letters.
Outside corner gets the call. Harshman goes down looking. Peyton St. George is using every inch of that illustration right now. It's a big out as Megan Wiggins comes in, had an RBI single and scored in the 5th. Wiggins swinging first pitch. Chitister takes care of it. Clean inning there for Peyton St. George after the leadoff walk to Rachel Lewis. It's our Geico defensive play of the game, and Taylor Edwards mic'd up.
Hey, look what I found. Good job. Hey, look at what I found. Here we go. Got one.
Such a great play and so casual. Hey, looky here. Romero to a knee and not going to be able to make the play to get Sam Fisher to be an infield single to lead off the 6th inning for Fisher.
Number 88, Nadia Taylor.
She'll take the 10 points, her second single of the game. Thumbs up to the dugout. Let's wait for Nadia Taylor. They stopped there by Sydney Romero. Sale gets Taylor to pop up. There's a little bit of a miscommunication initially, but Taylor Edwards quickly steps in and takes control. Well, don't miss your chance to be part of this excitement of Athletes Unlimited softball here in Rosemont. Be sure to get your tickets at auprosports.com/tickets. Bringing your daughter next week. She is going to love it.
I know. I'm very excited for her to just kind of meet some of these women. She knows a lot of them, obviously through Team Canada, and so I think it's going to be, I think, more a special weekend for me than her. Some one-on-one time.
Maybe some one-on-one time with some of these players. Talk to Nadia Taylor about helping her with their swing.
And Jen Salad.
Jen Salad, oh yeah.
We got some work to do. We'll be in the dome. If you can't find us, we'll be.
We got to get a camera over there for that, for sure. Sis Bates watches that one outside. You really got everything you need here if you need to give her a full-on clinic. Pitching, hitting. I mean, you don't need help pitching, but you really don't need help hitting, I guess. But
no,
any
hitting,
help you want, you got it.
Hitting, we do, because it's always fun to be able to hear different perspectives from, like, she's only 8, but I mean, she has mad respect for Jen because she knows what she does. And Sis Bates, she watched her play at Washington, so she gets to, as much as me being her mother, I'm hopeful that I was her favorite player. She told me straight up that Gabby playing for Washington was her favorite player. So, like, I'm still kind of taking the knife out a little bit, but I just think it's cool that she gets to look up to some of these different players, and she's always watching softball, whether it's listening to me talk and watching the games, going to Husky softball games. I think that's the best teacher for the younger generation of the game. It's to just watch. It's watch Shannon Sale throw a drop ball on the outside part of the plate and kind of visualize and see yourself being successful doing that too.
At least she's keeping it in the Washington family for her favorite players as Sis Bates goes down swinging for out number 2.
She doesn't know any better yet.
She already got Mcclenny to ground out. We had her on at AUX when she was in the living room pitching in front of you. You got an out on Haley Mcclenny. You're doing something right. Peyton George is having some fun right now.
Let's see if Haley Mcclenny can keep this streak alive. What would this be, her? I think it would be her 9th straight getting on base. Can't get her out right now.
1-0. Sale gets the call outside. There's the leaderboard. How about Haley Mcclenny? She was in 37th coming into week 2. She is in 2nd place.
I mean, look at the back-to-back days, though, that she's been able to have. She's gained points in her last 8 at-bats just purely on performance. And then being on a team that's winning, you're winning innings. It's 10 points. You're winning games. That's 50 points. She has 100 win points in the last 2 days. Has another crack at it today with a 13-6 going into the 7th score.
This is a really challenging day to pick the MVPs. You've got Taylor Edwards on one team who has 3 RBIs. She's 2 for 3 with the home run.
I'm going Piankistelli 1.
Piankistelli.
She's back-to-back base hits, a heavy fly out, and then the grand slam.
Could this be it? She was going for double digits, and that's where it ends. Mclenny reaches 9 straight times, and Shannon Sale finally finds the recipe to get Mcclenny. For every run during this year's Athletes Unlimited softball season, Aspiration is planting 10 trees. Entering week 2, 450 trees have been committed this season thanks to Aspiration's support. Erica Piankistelli working on a forest after that one. A grand slam. You say she should be right up there at the top of the MVP votes. And she is living her best life right now. Big inning here for Team Harshman. And you're thinking, well, what are the chances they score 7? That's part of it, but just to limit the damage for themselves, there are 20 points on the line here in the 7th. They have to score here to force a bottom half. Even if they don't score 7, we will still play the bottom half if Team Harshman scores, because there will be inning points on the line at that point, and they would be in line to win them. If they don't score, Team Mulipola gets 20 for the last 2 innings and 50 for the game. Bates again throwing it into the turf, and Romero is safe at first. Infield single for Sydney Romero.
Ooh, so close. Love Chitty just tries to get that little extra flair at the end and get it. I love it.
outside corner for St. George. There's Carrie Eberly getting ready. She will start game 2 of the day against Team Jaquish. She's wearing the gold for a reason. She was atop the leaderboard after week 1. She was in a fantastic position after Friday night. Her team collected 120 win points. She was the top MVP. And now the leaderboard is changing a lot because Chitister, with the win, will go ahead of her. You will see a number of other blue players make their way into the top 10.
I like that call.
Big pitch here from Peyton St. George. Line shot! Ramirez makes the catch. And that got on Abby Ramirez in a hurry.
She's swinging a hot bat right now. She really is. She's just seeing it well. Abby Ramirez being in the right place at the right time. That's not even a bad pitch. She's just able to go down and get it, seeing it well.
The Dallas fouls it back. Frustrating day for Tori so far. She's 0 for 3. She swung a really nice bat, though. This week's hurt her a little bit. She's in that 55th spot. She's dropped 7 spots on the leaderboard this weekend. She's hit the ball well, though. As an individual, she's done a nice job to pick up some points here and there. Without those big win points, it's hard to move up. Vidalis, how about this swing? Left center, it's gone! Right off the Team Mulipola flag in left center field. Tori Vidalis keeps her team alive.
And this got out of here in a heartbeat. This is dead over the heart of the plate. And Vidalis, way too much pop to let a pitch like that go by. She takes out her captain, I think, Mulipola on the flagpole, or opponent, Mulipola.
Big swing from Tori Vidalis, and it's a chance now for Team Harshman, even if they don't come back all the way, to get 20 inning win points here at the end in the 7th. Peyton St. George misses outside, ball 1. Vidalis gets 40 for the home run, could be worth as many as 60 total for her. 256 feet. Ball 2 from Peyton St. George. Roberts' second time at the plate, replaced Gano earlier in the batting order and walked her first time up. 2-0 catches the outside corner. Fouls that one down the left side for strike 2. Trying to start things up again here with 1 out. Can Peyton St. George settle back in? And Peyton St. George in the chair chat in week 1, she was living it up, feet up on the fence, just hanging out. Rookie out of Duke, was drafted in the Athletes Unlimited College Draft. 3rd team All-American this year, their first ever Super Regional. She led them there, and she gets Roberts swinging. 2 outs.
She just blows this one by her on the inner part of the plate. Good pitch by Peyton St. George.
Kaylee Clifton, and it's her second time up. She came up with the bases loaded earlier, replacing Haley Busby at the plate, and she grounded out to Sis Bates. Clifton puts this one into the stands. For Team Mulipola, it's got to be a little bit of an odd feeling going to the bottom of the 7th when you know you've got the 50 points coming, but there still are, it's not like it's just 10 either. Not that that would make it any different, but it's 20 points. That can make a big difference in the grand scheme of things.
And they think that way. They'll be going into the bottom of the 7th to try to destroy to get those 20 points.
And they wouldn't need to get 3 either. They just need 2.
Mm-hmm.
As long as Team Harshman doesn't score anymore, because the tie goes to the winning team. So you would basically have a walk-off situation if you get 2 runs. It's Clifton deep down the left side and foul. Clifton, 2-time All-American at Oklahoma, Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year as a senior, and a 2-time national champion. She'd like to put one out there in the players' suite in left field, give somebody a little warm-up before the next game. Popped up. It's going to be close. Mulipola at the fence, or the netting, I should say, and that might have hit the netting on the way down. One-two count to Clifton. Megan Wiggins over coaching first base right now. Everybody kind of rotates, pulling double duty out here. Down low, ball 2. There you go, souvenir. Get that sucker signed after this game. Too far inside. Team Jaquish, Team Eberly coming up next to cap week 2. Clifton, left center field, and gets it too far away from Mcclenny. It's a 2-out double for Kaylee Clifton, and that's 20 points for her.
Kaylee Clifton has some wheels up the line. Really good at bat off of Peyton St. George. Put those 20 points in your bank.
Why not? Making it count here in the 7th, and maybe a chance for Rachel Lewis to bring her around. She watches strike 1 on the outside corner. She was the first batter to face Peyton St. George in the 6th inning, and she walked to lead that inning off. Fouled straight back. Nine hits for Team Harshman in this one. 5 of them extra base hits. Oh, look good from St. George, just a little outside. 1-2. Rachel Lewis played at Northwestern. Hit 23 home runs there this season. Mulipola trying to frame it, 2-2. For her first career professional home run. When will that come? She's went from 0-2 to 3-2 here. Too far inside. Peyton St. George was dancing all over the zone in that at bat, but just couldn't get a call. Very close.
You know what I'm going to say? We're almost going on a 3-hour game time. As an umpire, I'm okay with calling that pitch. That's a good at bat. You know you got to play the bottom of the 7th.
Rachel Lewis credit. She's got 24 points in this game off 3 walks. That one is a strike to Aaliyah Andrews. One for 3, could use another double right here to bring a couple in. 0-1, too far outside. Still some wiggle room for Team Mulipola. You have 2 outs. The tying run isn't even on deck yet. He's got to find an out. Chitister does. Grounder right to her. But we will play the bottom of the 7th because Team Harshman plates 2 runs.
Well, Tori Vidalis, it's about time. I like seeing you go yard. Let's do this more often.
They are excited, and I think they came for offense. They are getting it in a big way. 13-9, 24 combined hits. We've seen a grand slam, a number of home runs. Shannon Sale doesn't like this kind of softball right now. She doesn't like when the line score looks like that, but it has happened. And for Team Harshman, they have scored 16 runs today and yesterday, and they are going to go 0-2. You said it. You said pitching is big. You have to have it.
Is big, and Garcia gave it all that she possibly could, and they just weren't able to really kind of shut the door in yesterday's game, and that's ultimately what hurt them. And then going into today with not having Rachel Garcia meant that it was going to be Danielle Watson, Taylor Mcquillen, and Shannon Sale, and they were going to have to find a way to get it done.
Abby Ramirez, stabbed by Kaylee Clifton at third. Nice play over there by Clifton. And a quick throw.
Here's the first baseman, number 4, Amanda Chitister.
An Oklahoma Sooner having another Oklahoma Sooners back in the circle. It's a quick hot shot at third.
Clifton at shortstop a lot in San Diego. Third base here in the championship season. And a Chitister with 1 out. Swing and a miss. Big swing too. They would need 2 runs to take the inning points. They already have 50 locked up for the game. Would be some consolation. Probably not one they're interested in, but 20 points for Team Harshman if they can hold Team Mulipola to 1 run or less. There's the scoreboard. Can Carrie Eberly make a move? It's going to get bigger. That gap will widen, and she will be in 4th place by the time this game ends because of the win points as Sale misses inside 2-1. Off speed, you can hear Chitister groaning.
She's always very animated.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite thing, getting to always hear when she gets cheated at an at-bat, meaning swinging at a pitch that maybe she doesn't normally swing at.
2-2, this is hit in the air toward Andrews, right at her. And there's 2 away quickly for Shannon Sale.
Catcher, number 15, Mulipola.
Deja Mulipola with 2 away. Will she be on the MVP list? When we come back for game 2, we'll show you who got those extra bonus points. Mcclenny's reached 4 times and she scored every time. Deja Mulipola has 4 RBIs on 2 hits. Piankistelli had the grand slam plus 2 singles and an additional RBI. Erica Piankistelli is one of Team Mulipola's players that will move into that top 10 after the win points are tallied. Good spot from Sale right there, 2-1. Erica Piankistelli, 2 of the 3 all-time grand slams at AU Softball's championship season. The other one was, who would have guessed it? Jasmine Jackson, the power hitter.
She hit the first one.
This could do it. Lewis is in, makes the grab. That's 20 points for Team Harshman as they win the 6th and 7th innings, but the big total goes the other way. Team Mulipola gets 50 points for winning the game. This leaderboard is about to have a big shift in it. You'll see more blue into the top 10. You will see a much bigger lead for Deja Mulipola and Haley Mcquillen in those top 2 spots. Chitister will also move into the top 3. Here's my guess, Danielle. We just saw the last of Team Mulipola. I don't think we will see a very similar roster in week 3. I don't think anyone's going to allow it.
I don't think so. I think a lot of those players are going to get taken in the first couple rounds based on their performance over the course of the weekend. They were a dangerous team.
And there it is. 7 of the top 10 for Team Mulipola. That is outstanding. Just saw those points get added, the plus 50 to everybody on Team Mulipola. Deja has the top spot on the leaderboard, and what a lead it is for her. Carrie Eberly, Savannah Jaquish, Bubba Nichols, the only 3 left in the top 10 from another team. We will see them in game 2. For Danielle Laurie, Key Michael, and our entire outstanding crew, I'm Chucky Kemp. Team Mulipola takes down Team Harshman. Our next game coming up in 20 minutes on ESPN+.